Hey, so this is Sam. Welcome to the first ever episode of Badass Bariatric. I am 23 years old and I just had a sleeve gastrectomy. So I went with the sleeve. It's pretty much the most moderate one. Not to say that it doesn't work or not to say that it's not, you know, as great. Because I've already seen huge results and I'm only 1 week out. But it is one of those things where after a while it requires much more personal maintenance and much more willpower. So this is a huge journey for me. I've done weight loss things before in my life, but never something to this degree. So I'm pretty excited about it. And so, just like a few personal stats, when I started this journey, it was back in December. I think towards the end of December 2017. And I weighed 428 pounds, and my BMI was 52.8. So, that's huge. That's really big. And I'll show you a picture of it. Um, Now, 1 week out of surgery, I am 350 pounds, BMI 43.2. So you can tell, it's July 5th, so it's been 7 months. I've lost 78 pounds. Um, so that's pretty huge. Now, 60 of that I lost on my own before surgery, and that was mostly due to diet changes. So before I started all of this, I was really struggling. I was in college and I was basically eating whatever I felt like, um, which is fun. And it's fun to drink beer with your buddies, but it's not too great on your body. And things were just spinning out of control. And eventually I just kind of looked in the mirror and I was like, none of my clothes fit. I don't feel like I'm happy with myself. So I decided to make a change. The first time that I went to the bariatric center, from the very first day they said, you need to start working on your diet. You need to get ready so that after surgery you'll be successful. So I started on an 1,800 calorie diet. Now that sounds like it's pretty close to a normal diet, but when you think about how much I was actually consuming to be gaining weight at that big of a size, I had to have been eating 3,500, 4,000 calories a day. I maintained that 1,800 for several months. And then I kind of, I definitely had some wavering in willpower, like anybody does. It got close to crunch time. It was getting to be like April, and I was like, okay, well, at that point I was down like 40 pounds or so, which was still huge, but I wanted to keep going in the right direction. And so I decided, you know what, I need to buckle down, I need to do this. So I did. I started eating salads all the time. I started eating one plate instead of multiple plates of food. These kinds of things. Just making changes like that, and I saw huge results. By the time I got to surgery, I was down 60 pounds. So, right before surgery was probably the toughest time I've ever had on a diet. For 2 weeks, I was on a liver shrinking diet. For those 2 weeks, I was basically eating greens, lean meat, nothing that tastes good. With the kind of work schedule I have, it's difficult to, sit there and cook all day. So it was real hard to find food. But then I got on a liquid diet, actually just the day before surgery, and that was clear liquids only. And when you have a stomach for food, and all you can eat is broth, water, Powerade Zero. It's kind of shitty. Anyway, so the day of surgery was definitely nerve-wracking. I had a first arrival time at 5:45 a.m. We were planning on leaving about 10 till 5 so we could get there in plenty of time. We ended up getting there before the hospital even opened. We got there at like 5:15. Doors didn't open until 5:30. So at this point I was 368 pounds. I was getting all prepped for surgery, and people had come in and, taken a sample of blood and, checked with me on how I was doing. I comes in to do my IV, and I have relatively visible veins on my hands. The guy went in, blood was coming out into the tube. I'm sorry if this is gross, but there's going to be some gross stuff on this. Surgery's not that pleasant. Blood was coming out, and the guy was like, "Oh man, I missed a vein." But apparently he had still punctured the vein, but hadn't been able to thread it in. And so blood just starts squirting out everywhere. Like, dude didn't even have the tube connected. It was, I don't know what he was doing. But blood squirts everywhere on my bed. And I busted out laughing. Like, straight up, could not control myself, and embarrassed dude to no extent. I mean, guy was just mortified. So then he was pissed off, and he slung my bed the other way and did my left hand. Then once he figured out his stuff, they wheeled me back to surgery. I don't remember much after that. After surgery, I was out of it. And apparently, coming down the hall, or at least this is what my family told me, I was screaming in pain, sounding like a mix of Chewbacca and someone dying. They had already started me on pain medication. The main reason I was in pain was because I had gas pain. Because basically at the end of internal surgery, a lot of time, they go through and puff up your abdomen with air, just to make sure that there's no leaks anywhere. You can kind of see if air's getting in or out places. That way they can make sure you're all sealed up. Groaning and screaming and just, as soon as I had woken up, I would, maybe go, but that's it. No, like, I don't know why I was being so extra. They, gave me more pain medication, told me I needed to get up and walk around. I was walking around while asleep. I would not wake up. In order to go home the next day, they told me I needed to be able to urinate, and I needed to be able to pass gas. Pretty easy to do, but not right after surgery, especially when all you're taking in is shots of water and protein shake. Eventually, I passed the test, and we started, getting ready to go home. I got in the car, and never before have I had so much pain from riding in a car. Just every movement felt like I had the absolute worst ab workout in the entire world. When I got home, I continued to have more gas pain, and this was where it really kind of hit me that for the next few weeks, I'm gonna be sipping from little shot glasses. I'll grab one. These little things, I drink 2 of these every 15 minutes of hydrating liquid, and then 2 every hour of protein shake. That's it. That's all I've had since last Thursday. It's been pretty interesting to see. There have been times where I didn't want to get out of bed. There have been times where all I wanted to do was get out of the house. I'm off work from now until the 17th. So I really don't know what to do with myself. So I decided to create a vlog. Just kind of wanted to give more insight to people who are considering bariatric surgery, what it's like afterwards. what it's like during the surgery. I wanted to give you guys some insight as to what's going on in my life. I will be posting here pretty often, and I want to know kind of what you guys think and if you have any questions. And feel free to leave comments, share, whatever. I would love to get more of a following. I would love to get people, more aware of what bariatric surgery entails, and let people know that it's not the easy way out. It's actually really fucking hard, but it's just different. It's a catalyst to help you. It's not a fix-all kind of thing. But with that, I will sign off, and I'll see you guys probably next week. All right, bye.